episode of Ask Me Anything, where we sit down with nonprofit leaders from our greater Helena community and learn more about their organizations and how they make our hometown great. Our January 2024, we're in a whole new year, Nonprofit of the Month is American Jobs for America's Youth, Montana, which goes by AJAY. AJAY.
Yep.
And today we have AJAY's executive director with us. Can you introduce yourself and tell us how long you've been a part of the organization?
Yeah, my name is Nasaran Burbridge. I'm currently working with AJAY Montana, yes, as I like to call it. I'm not the executive director right now.
Oh, okay.
But
Sorry.
No, that's okay. But I'm still doing the outreach coordination, and we are in a time of transition. I've been with AJAY Montana for about a year.
Okay.
So this will be my second summer jobs program season.
Okay.
And I come from a background of workforce, so I've been connecting people with jobs for a very long time.
Yeah.
And very excited about the mission and the way that AJAY approaches that.
And we've, in parts of this video that you will not see because our lovely intern will cut them out, we've already reconnected over the fact that we've kind of bumped into each other in getting student workers and things like that done before. So
yes, in our community,
which is a great thing.
Yes.
And we could probably just do stories of interesting student worker things, and that could be a whole nother interview.
Right, and where they've landed, and
yeah,
how they are currently contributing to different organizations throughout our community.
Yeah,
yes.
They're everywhere.
Yes.
They're everywhere. So in 10 words or less, tell us what your organization does.
In 10 words or less, I'm going to say.
I gotta count them.
Yes, ready?
Okay, ready, yeah.
Okay, so building work and life skills through experience, training, and mentorship.
Beautiful. So work and life skills. So when I think about that, I know what I think of, but is this sort of what you're working with, which age groups, with what goals? Tell me a little more.
So we work with 15 to 19-year-olds is our main audience. Mm-hmm. And really that concept which we were just talking about, this idea of first jobs matter. Mm-hmm. And for a lot of different reasons. So one, we know that early work experiences affect work experiences later on. Mm-hmm. The connections you build during early work experiences are very important to success later in life. Mm-hmm. And this is when you are developing your skill set. You're learning how to be a great coworker, a great employee. Mm-hmm. You're building relationships that are going to help you access careers, choose careers, gain skills. So it's a really important age set, and it's sometimes a little more challenging for that age than we assumed. Mm-hmm. Right?
Yeah, I wasn't fully baked at 16, 19, 30, any of those things.
Right.
So it takes a while.
It takes a while, yeah. And so this idea of focusing on summer jobs, first jobs, was really important to us, and to add all of these support structures around it. Mm-hmm. So I think what really makes this different is we know lots of young people get summer jobs. Right. Although what's interesting is that the unemployment rate for youth is actually much higher than the regular population. Okay. So it's actually a little bit harder for youth to get jobs than we think. Okay. So most youth jobs come from connections. Okay. Most people get it from their family, right? They know someone, they get you connected to a job. So depending on the level of your connections, that might affect your ability to get a summer job.
Yeah, that's fair.
So we try to add these supports around it that we're helping you navigate the process of getting a summer job. We have great partner employers that are choosing to be part of developing young people in this journey. And then we match them with a mentor for the summer. Okay. And then they also, before that, complete a work skills training, preparing them for their summer job placement.
So now I'm just reflecting on what was my first job, and I was a lifeguard.
You can have 10 kids do the exact same job, be a lifeguard. Right. And 10 kids will take something different and learn a little bit more specific about what makes them unique. Right. What extra skills they bring to the table that they start looking for the next place. Call them foundational skills, essential skills, soft skills, work skills,
that's probably
power skills now.
Yeah. It's also connecting with what your interests are and things like that too.
Yeah.
So, yeah. Okay.
It's also both, right? Because as we know with work, that whole sort of experience and opportunities is that we're really focusing on, one, you get to learn more about your community by some of these first jobs. Right. Working for the city of Helena. Getting to work with small businesses in our town. Oh yeah. Even just doing a retail type of thing, right, for a summer job. Helping to work with one of our great nurseries in town or something like. So you get to learn about your town, you get connected, and you're building those foundational skills that we think then open the next doors
Mhm.
that might be slightly more career oriented,
Okay.
that you become a more competitive candidate for those next things.
Mhm.
Now, we do also have opportunities that are working for a law firm, working in healthcare.
When I was reading up a little bit before we gathered today, is this program, is AJAY Montana, is this part of a national project or is it kind of unique to our community?
It's unique to our community and to Montana.
Okay.
So the nonprofit came out of Brian Kahn, super important in our community, who brought a whole bunch of people together to create this vision of working with youth.
Mhm.
And if anyone knows Brian, he had a very big dream about sort of cradle to our death about our jobs and our careers, but he's a big believer in strong communities,
Mhm.
right? So keeping people in our communities, bringing people back to our communities,
Oh yeah. Mhm.
doing the jobs that exist in our community, being connected to the businesses that make our communities thrive.
Mhm.
So this came out of that, of a very large vision,
Mhm.
and maybe the idea of how do we help young people have first job experiences, and a thought about like a first year of work that might be supported.
Mhm.
So the summer jobs was one of the first things that came out of brainstorming of how do we take this big idea and start with something concrete,
Mhm.
local in our communities. So it very much locally developed, lots of people coming together and having a vision. Helena then, with the original executive director, sort of launched the summer jobs program.
Right.
This is year 6 in Helena, for
Okay.
6 years
Wow.
in the summer.
That's a lot.
And then it has expanded into some other communities. So
Okay.
Yellowstone County now has a summer jobs
Oh
program.
wow. Okay.
Bozeman is in year 2 for launching a summer jobs
Okay.
program, and then Anaconda has one as well.
So you've got the summer jobs program, but that's not the only thing. So you've kind of touched on some of the other parts. But if I'm a local business leader, is there room to get involved? How do people tie in?
Yes. Well, first and foremost, a summer jobs program, of course, needs jobs.
Right.
So,
Right.
number one is that, and we have applications up on our website, and so what it starts with is really engaged employers who want to work with young people who are either already doing that or would like
Sure.
to add more or have an opportunity.
Mhm.
And so they sign on to be one of our summer jobs employers.
Mhm.
And so there's just a process for that that talks about the type of opportunity that you might have available, what the expectations are.
Okay.
So we ask you to sign up for that, and then we have students that are signing up looking for summer jobs.
So you've got the summer jobs program, but that's not the only thing. So you've kind of touched on some of the other parts. But if I'm a local business leader, is there room to get involved? How do people tie in?
Yes. Well, first and foremost, a summer jobs program, of course, needs jobs.
Right.
So
Right.
number one is that, and we have applications up on our website, and so what it starts with is really engaged employers who want to work with young people who are either already doing that or would like
Sure.
to add more or have an opportunity.
Mhm.
And so they sign on to be one of our summer jobs employers.
Mhm.
And so there's just a process for that that talks about the type of opportunity that you might have available, what the expectations are.
Okay.
So we ask you to sign up for that, and then we have students that are signing up looking for summer jobs.
So you've got the summer jobs program, but that's not the only thing. So you've kind of touched on some of the other parts. But if I'm a local business leader, is there room to get involved? How do people tie in?
Yes. Well, first and foremost, a summer jobs program, of course, needs jobs.
Right.
So
Right.
number one is that, and we have applications up on our website, and so what it starts with is really engaged employers who want to work with young people who are either already doing that or would like
Sure.
to add more or have an opportunity.
Mhm.
And so they sign on to be one of our summer jobs employers.
Mhm.
And so there's just a process for that that talks about the type of opportunity that you might have available, what the expectations are.
Okay.
So we ask you to sign up for that, and then we have students that are signing up looking for summer jobs.
Mhm.
And so then this process is a matching process within
Okay.
that. So that's one way to get involved is,
Okay. So instead of me sending out, because sometimes it can be hard to even get applicants for some things,
Yes.
or you get swarmed with them. It seems like it's feast or famine.
yes.
So instead of dealing with that, they would get matched with the
Yes.
program. So you're gonna
Yes.
help them find the right person. So that's a nice thing. But other than that, it's a real job. If I'm an employer, I'm paying this person, we're doing W-9s, we're doing, not W-9s, W-2s, we're doing the forms to like
Yes.
do taxes and get paid and things like that. It's not like...
Absolutely, it's a real job.
Yeah.
And to your point with the matching, and the reason we use the word matching is that it absolutely is a real job, which means it's always up to that point. So the match means that we've learned about you and your organization and what you're looking for.
Sure.
We do an interest interview with our students. So our students also apply to the program. So they do resume, they talk about their interests.
Sure.
We also sort of introduce them to a variety of different new ideas that they might be interested in, what skills they might want to be developing. And then we suggest a match. So then we suggest to the student that we think you two would be a good match.
Okay.
You guys then interview each other, or sometimes there's even a second application process, so they might have to then go through your process.
Okay.
Then you guys would interview with each other, and then just like a regular job, you guys are still making a decision. Does this student a good fit for you?
Sense.
The students say, is this good fit for me?
Yeah.
And so you will decide. And sometimes the matches aren't, right? And then sometimes we, look for new matches. And
Sure.
hopefully it is. So it is
But
absolutely a real job.
Yeah,
Yes.
but that could still save somebody a lot of time too, just especially if you know that there's something that somebody who's maybe experiencing their first job could do well.
Yes.
That's pretty brilliant.
Plus, I think we help them because, as we talked about with the early jobs, right? So you know this, or maybe we forget.
I haven't thought about lifeguarding in a long time, so.
Right, but I think with young people, sometimes part of what we've learned about career exploration, job exploration,
Sure.
is sometimes we have limited information about different types of jobs and careers and people that we work with.
Sure.
And we have a tendency to sometimes self-select out of opportunities.
Oh, yes.
Based on what our interpretation of what that job is. So some of our
that's too hard. I'm not smart enough. I don't have the right this, the right that, or
all of those things, right? Or that it's not interesting. I don't know what that is.
Oh yeah.
And when you're young, you're not as sure of yourself. So some of what we're doing too is helping them see different opportunities.
Yeah.
In a way. So to your point, there's sometimes more applicants, is we might be saying, hey, this actually does fit what you might want to be doing. We think it could build your skills in this way. Think about it. Or there's this great supervisor, which we're also a big fan of.
Oh yeah, that's a big difference.
That's huge too, right, for a first job. So yeah, we try to have that element of it too, of you're getting introduced to an opportunity that as a young person you may not have chosen on your own.
Yeah, I like to joke sometimes that I'm a good first nonprofit for a newer board member. Like, I'm okay with that. But so I can see that can really apply, especially to a student worker. Where it's like, yeah, I'm a good starter.
Yes.
I can be the person who can give the right kind of feedback and involvement, and also has the job that would work for that. So
right, like this idea of the first jobs or the best first job that's a great thing to be. Is I'm good at nurturing young people. Yeah, and the other thing that sometimes happens, right, is we say 30% of our students actually stay with the job after they do it.
Oh wow, okay. So it's the first summer, but maybe they're coming back the next summer, or maybe they're working it after school, or
and so
finishing or whatever.
Right, so sometimes the next 3 summer vacations, sometimes other vacations. We've had one stay there through college. So that's been a huge one, is that also know that it is a great recruitment of...
Yeah, you get somebody in and keep them for a while.
Yes. And then the other beauty of summer jobs is the opposite, right? Both are good. So you might get to keep them for 3 to 4 years.
Right.
And then the other thing is summer, also if it needs to end, it ends too. Yeah. And that was all good. And we had a learning experience
there. It can still be a good experience, but be complete.
Yes.
And not feel like.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. So both
makes sense.
But yeah, 30%. So quite a few still working
That's
for
a
the
lot.
same employers that they get through the summer jobs program.
Well, and just like every month we do this, I mean, our videos I think have gotten longer every time, and I'm sure today is no exception. But even I feel like somebody who's pretty well versed in the nonprofit world, and I learn new stuff all the time.
Yeah.
So this was pretty cool. And when I said local business leaders, nonprofits, those of you who are watching each other's videos, we're probably pretty good candidates too. They're
great candidates. We love all of our different, and I would almost say it's not just business, it's community. Because I think what I love this idea of, if we look at what the basis was just to strengthen our communities. Yeah. Right? And so one, it's connecting the youth in our community to all the different opportunities and organizations that make our community interesting. Yep.
So if you're 12, hang on.
Yes.
And if you work in a business that could use a student worker, you could apply
you can apply.
hire. And if you are in a position where you maybe don't need a worker, but you want to be helpful, there's a role for you too.
There's a role for you to
So really, the only people we don't need are people who are too busy, or there's lots of options. Is what I'm seeing. I'm hearing lots of opportunities.
Right.
So.
Although, shouldn't we also make the other nonprofit pitch of so one of the other elements is that. So we want to also value students' time as well, and this is something too that's important about opportunity as well,
Sure.
is being able to get paid and, like you said, the real job. So before the students start, they enroll. We do this interview with them, and then they do a work skills training. So they do 4 hours of work skills training before they start their jobs, and we pay them for their time.
Okay,
so
well, that's good.
They get paid to do this work skills training.
Yeah.
So we're always looking for support as well to help us do that, because we think it's a really important element. Is that we also get to value their time while they're building the skill set for their work skills. And of course, we have this other little addition where we also have the connections with Helena College and Miles Community College, where they can also get free college credit.
Oh, great.
So
that's awesome.
They also have an opportunity to take a summer class as well. And Reach Higher is a big partner with us that helps pay for some of that tuition. So yeah, there's all sorts of these elements that they get to do. So
nice.
Yeah.
Very cool.
Yes.
Well, that's a lot. So I think we kind of already hit on. No, this is just very interesting. And poor Casey will have to either turn this down or we'll have our new longest video yet. Either way, it's going to work. But if you have your summer programs coming up, is there any other events you want to talk about, or what's the timeline for that?
I think that's the biggest one. Is that January we just opened up our employer applications. So this is where we start with our employer recruitment. And so this is where we reached out, and on our website, those applications are up, so you can apply and you can reach out to us. But this is where we're starting. So I think everyone feels like summer jobs is far away, but if you're an employer, if you hire people, you know that, especially
even when there's this much snow, summer is around the corner for hiring.
Yeah. So right now, I feel like this is our big push right now, is we're starting to do recruitment for our employer partners for matching, and then February is when we start to open the student applications. And so the student recruitment will happen, because then they start to do the work skills training ready by April, and we try to have them all ready for when summer kicks off, school's out, that they're ready to start their jobs.
That's so cool.
Yeah.
So you kind of get off the ground running too.
Yes.
Like you've got kids who are ready and rolling.
Well, and I would also like to say is when you were talking about applicants, so these are kids who voluntarily sign up for a program where they're going to be doing extra work skills training. They've signed up to get connected to a mentor, and all of them are very excited about the mentor.
Right.
And then we also do some work skills assessments beginning at the end. So these are kids who are not only looking for a job, but they're also saying, hey, I'm willing to do more than just the summer job.
I want to be good at a job.
Yes.
That's different. It's true.
Yeah.
I mean, there's difference between get out of the house and you want gas money versus I want to kick off my career in a meaningful way.
Yes.
That's pretty cool.
And I think it's okay that they want both, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, we still want gas money. I still want gas money. That's getting expensive.
I think that's the big thing is, they still want gas money. That's the job part, but exactly. But they're also willing and want and sign up for the more. Yeah.
Very cool. Well, thank you so much for being here. And I seriously, I've learned a ton. And thank you for those of you who are watching. And you can find more information about our nonprofit of the month, AJAY Montana, on our website and on Facebook. And we will make sure we've got your website listed somewhere while we're talking about websites.
Yes, thank you.
And then also, speaking of applications opening, our nonprofit grant applications will have opened by the time this is showing. So, so for those of you nonprofits who are watching each other's videos, which is great, we love having you, please do get on our website and look for our grant applications. Again, it is a combined application that has funding from HACF, City of Helena, and Lewis and Clark County. So around almost $73,000 of grant funding going in. So
exciting.
Yeah.
Yes.
So thanks for that as well.
Because we appreciate the support.